Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Mimi, you're welcome to today's class. Okay. So let's just wait for others to join us and we'll kick off in earnest. Okay, good evening, everyone. I think we probably have considered a quorum. Okay, I see Mimi, I see Ifunanya, Emmanuel, Meso, Restore, Precious, Godwin, Toshko, and others. You're welcome to this class. Can you all hear me clearly? If you can hear me, please let me know. Okay, beautiful. I think you can hear me. That's awesome. Okay. Apologize that we started probably about 16 minutes late. I actually went live just before 8 o'clock, and I was gonna share a link then, but all of a sudden the stuff yanked off, and I couldn't do so. Couldn't do so. Okay. I gave us an assignment yesterday. The assignment was how do I buy land in the metaverse, and I believe most of us should have done that. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. I oh, just a moment, guys. I'm trying to get probably a few assignments I could use. Okay. Okay. I have sounds on here. Okay. So Margaret said that she used hers. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll send hers. I asked the admin, what's it called? Sorry, I'm not admin. I asked the group leaders to compile for me um, a list of probably just to give me a couple of assignments from their team, and I think they gave me the wrong ones. Okay. Mm, okay, I'm going to share my screen now so we could go over the assignments before we continue for what we have for today. Please, if you can see my screen, let me know you can see my screen. Uh, Kim, your work, I don't have edit access. I told you guys to ensure that all your assignments you're uploading, you grant edit access to them. Without edit access, I cannot make changes to it. The goal is for every member, everybody to make their work accessible to for the members to edit. So guys, don't make your work just view only, make it editable. Right. I wanted to use what's it called Kim's work for review, but then the sorry, but then she I don't have edit access to her work. Okay. So probably look for another person's one to use. Um, Let me see. Guys, when submitting assignment, ensure that it's editable for everybody. I want to foster, let's say, um, collaboration among the team members. I want everybody to edit other people's works. Yes. So, okay, I just got a work, another work from Pamela. I'm just going through group one. I saw Pamela's work, so let me use that. I just saw Choma's message. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, but okay, Kim is saying that ours is accessible now. Okay, I was gonna use Pamela's one. Probably also going through it. Also gonna go through it again. Um, okay. So guys, the assignment for yesterday was how do I buy land in the metaverse? Um, I yesterday I told us about the need for us to ensure that our works are what I say that we use the right headings to write an article. Get if we want to analyze our work based on what we did yesterday, she has it in 1 year, and you come down here, there is heading two. This one's are heading two. This one's are heading two. Okay, and this is heading three, heading three, heading three, and then okay. Now, I'm going to use that work to show us certain things that I think we need to learn. That um, so today we're going to look at certain things that are critical to our work. Just a moment, guys. Let me be sure that everybody's following me. Okay, good. I'm going to make my screen bigger. Okay. Whiteboard. Whiteboard. Or two. Okay. I think good. Now, I want us to look at certain things. Number one is um, casing. Get we look at casing. We look at okay, hyperlink and referencing, hyperlink and referencing, and then probably going to punctuations there. Good. Now this is what we're going to do. Okay, I'm seeing what's it called careers work editable. I don't probably and some of that time we use a work. Okay. Okay. Now I told us earlier that the curriculum we have, it's we're going to address it as as the need arises. It's not going to be in a chronological order. And okay, before I forget, I told you guys earlier that to ensure if you want to get the best video quality, go to your settings and probably click on what's it called video resolution or something like that. Then select something high enough. Now, the higher the resolution, the more data is going to consume. I'm streaming at 1080p. That's quite high. So if you're going to be, if you're going to be watching at that resolution, you'll be spending a lot of data. You can bring it down to 720 or 480. Just get something that works for you, good picture, and then not so much data. Okay. Now, when it comes to casing, casing refers to like say refers to how you write your how you arrange or I say the case. Okay, oh god. Okay, now let me just I don't know how to define it, but then let me list the cases that concerns us first, and then probably from there we can get a definition. It's not just a function of how you define, it's about what you are doing. Get so we have uppercase, we have lowercase, and we also got title case. Now there could be a lot of other ones, but these are what I know that are relevant to us as far as writing is concerned. Okay. When you're writing a content, um, casing is something that you do naturally or naturally, whether you know it or not. You must use cases in your work in English language. This is your title. This title has how many words there? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 words. Yes. This title is bold. This title has a font size of 20. We are using the font style of Arial. Now, as a rule of thumb, or let me not say rule of thumb. Let me say on the average person will do this. Let me see what Pamela did in ours. Okay, the average person would do this. Would probably write um, how do I buy land in the metaverse? Okay, this is what the average person would do. Get and that's because the person wants to make the work, loud and make it very clear that this is the title. It makes sense. We use this stuff in our secondary schools, and you may go the extra mile to even make it bold. Control B. You get that's sharp. Now, as good as this may seem, you need to understand that number one, your heading gives you an inherent format. If you click on heading one straight up, it gives you a format. So Pamela, looking at your work here, Okay, this one is not even how do I balance. Okay, okay, this is how do I, this is centralized exchange rather. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for how do I balance in the metaverse. So, but then since we're here already, let me show you something. If you check your work has bold there already. You boldened it. We don't need to bolden our text. We don't need to bolden what's it called our headings, our heading one or heading two. It comes with its own inherent formatting. So click on this bold, remove it. Without the bold, it's still conspicuous. We don't need this thing, guys. So let me close this one because it's not on the assignments we were discussing. I'm probably going to add someone else's work. Who has indicated interest? Uh, I think they've started that work. Okay, it's only in games work. The other persons said they want to delete their messages, but probably let me check Ikera's one and see. Ikera, please send me your work via WhatsApp so I can open it here, please. Okay, back to what I was saying. Now, if you look at this stuff, if you look at this title, it makes sense. Most of us did this in our works. We wrote our stuff this way. If you do your work this way, it's called uppercase. Uppercase is a casing style wherein you capitalize the first, you capitalize every alphabet in the sentence or in the what's it called the heading in or in the text you wrote. So in uppercase, you capitalize every every word, every alphabet. Now, most people do this for their titles, but I'm here to tell you that it's not the best. In fact, if you are using this kind of style to chat, it means you are making a noise, you are shouting. Like um um how best will I explain to you? Moment. Hey guys, there are basic communication skills you need to understand. Whenever you are engaging somebody in a chat or discussing with somebody over your any of the social media platforms you have, do not use uppercase. Uppercase means you are capitalizing the first, sorry, you're capitalizing all the alphabets in the probably in any text you wrote or in the sentence or as case maybe or in the phrase. If you're using uppercase, the person will assume that you're trying to make an emphasis. You are shouting. Get it is actually very wrong for you to do so. It's actually rude also. Most of us don't know it. Our parents are used to doing so. My mom, my dad rather, if you want to send me a message, a text message, you will just probably just write it that same way and send to me. And he doesn't know better. But then you guys are, we are the Gen Z, we are, the millennials, and we are stuff like that. We know better. We know that this is not the way to go. So please avoid doing so. Now, this same thing applies to your articles. We're not going to accept this form of this style when it comes to title. Now, you can only use the uppercase when you are writing abbreviations. Abbreviations. For instance, we have coins. Let's say you are writing about a crypto project, such as Bitcoin. Bitcoin. If you want to the symbol of Bitcoin is BTC. If you want to write the symbol of if you want to write that BTC, don't write BTC like this. The way you do is BTC. Get and most times it's better that you put a dollar sign in front of it. I can't really tell where this trend started from, but most content we see out there, you don't want to write what's called token abbreviations. They put what's called dollar sign in front of it. You could also have things like um, mana, sand, Ethereum, um, Doge, BNB. Now, these are instances where you can use uppercase. It will be wrong for you to write it this way. Let's say you want to write okay, for those of us from Nigeria, we used to have something called NEPA. You get this is what some of us call NEPA. Now you don't write it like this. NEPA, it's no, it doesn't add up. It's an abbreviation. Use uppercase for it. You get and lowercase is a case style where what's it called you use small letters for every alphabet. This scenario said doesn't even make sense. More letters for every alphabet. Man, I don't really know how best to explain this stuff. But what I'm writing here currently, this small letter for this stuff here you see is lowercase. Get okay, let me make this guy uppercase. Let me get uppercase. Let me go to what's my settings? Okay, make this guy uppercase. Go to format, text, uppercase. So this is where uppercase is. Now, the way you can actually transform your text from uppercase to lowercase is go to format. First of all, highlight the text involved. Go to format, go down to text, go down to capitalization, then choose any of them. Get. So in this case, I chose uppercase to so you guys can see clearly what it looks like. Now this one is lowercase. Like I said, this sounds like tautology. Small letter for every alphabet. Man, I don't even know if that makes sense, but then I think you get what I'm trying to say. For the last one, title case. Title case is a system wherein you capitalize only um, the first alphabet, okay, alphabet of every word. Now, guys, this is what title case looks like. Now, this is what you meant to use for all your what's it called titles, all your headings. Get. I'm going to open. Ikira just sent me hers. Let me check to see what she has there. A moment, guys. Let me try and locate our work. Okay. Okay, I've seen our work now. Okay. So hers is coming up. So let's see what she did in her case. Okay. Now, okay. First of all, Eukarya, let's. There's no need to write your name here by Eukarya. No need to put your name here. The name should be at the top here. The name. Okay. Hold on a moment. The name should be at the top here where you wrote Eukarya. That's fine there. And preferably, guys, preferably let's just bring your stuff here. Um, let's bring it here. Probably. Um, okay. Okay, no need to write your full name. Just probably your name and surname and then hyphen, something like this. This is good. Okay. Now the reason I asked you to do so is so that I can actually be able to identify your works and know who did what and stuff. Okay, so when I come down here, I'm gonna delete this stuff. Okay. Now, you're seeing that number one, you made a mistake of bold, making a work bold. I'm gonna remove the bold there. Let's go this way. Then number two, your title is you use what's it called you use uppercase for it. So I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to go down to format, um, title, capitalization, and title case. Yes. So guys, this is how it's meant to read. But then there's another caveat attached to title case. Now, if you guys were observant yesterday, you would realize that I wasn't okay. Let me look for the whiteboard we used for yesterday. Just a moment, guys. Let me get the whiteboard for yesterday. You see that there's something I did, and you might have felt that it was a mistake, but it wasn't. So okay, let me look at that stuff. There was something I did yesterday that I need to learn because up to this time I've seen great writers are making that kind of mistake, very terrible mistake, and I don't want you guys to pick that mistake or pick that wrong style of using title case. Okay. seen it. Okay. Now, if you noticed yesterday, something like this. When I was writing my headings, something like this one, I did not I did not capitalize the a in and. I didn't capitalize this one. It was on purpose. Yeah, it's not an error. Okay, we should not analyze an example. Even okay, this part, continents of the world, the O and the D, I didn't capitalize it. It was not a mistake. It was intentionally. Get now. Let me see if there's another good example I could use for that. Now, so let's go back and to why I did not capitalize this stuff. Title case is not just this. In all your headings, strive to ensure you use title case, but this is not the fullness of title case. This does not depict the right the common style people use when using title case. Now, for title cases, these are the rules you must abide by. But one, okay, let me give you the good idea. Rules um, for using the conventional writing style. Conventional title case style. Okay, number one, um, capitalize the first R, the first letter of uh, every word. Okay, that's number one. And number two should be what's it called? Okay, don't capitalize the first letter of articles and no, excuse me, conjunctions and preposition. Okay, number three, rule number two does not apply to what's called to um, words that have four letters or more. Perfect. Now, guys, these are the rules. Rules for using the conventional writing style. Now, when I say conventional, I don't really know who brought whose convention is this, but this is the style we're using. Get and every good editor knows this. Every good editor that is into blogs and articles know this stuff I'm talking about. Okay, so the first one is that we capitalize the first alphabet of every word. Now, you can only do so if number two holds true. Get so let's bring this example for this one for instance. How to buy land in the metaverse. You need to understand that okay, let's do this way first. How to buy land in the metaverse. Okay, I'm gonna make this a bit bolder so we can see clearly. Now this is it. Get. But then number two says that we must not capitalize the first alphabet of article correction. Now you ask yourself what the articles. Now we have three articles in the English language. Articles does not mean like article that you wrote. In the English language we have three articles, and they are a, an, and the. These are what we call the articles in English language. A, an, and the. Get. So if you have any of these in your title, and okay, don't capitalize the first of them except when it begins the title. Now, if you have any of these in your article, in your title of your article, and it's not starting, it's not here. It's not like let's say I think it's more like a a guide, a guide on how to buy land in in the metaverse. Now, in this case, an article is starting this title, so it should be capitalized. It's okay. But in a case where it is not starting the sentence, for instance, this one here, this "the" is an article and it's not in the beginning, it's in the middle. You must not capitalize it. Make it lowercase. Good. Get. Then the next one is prepositions. Prepositions are there are a lot of prepositions we have in English language. Prepositions we have in, on, to, if, for, through, um, you know, and with, and so many more of them. Now, in this case, in is a preposition. As long as it's not starting the sentence, you will not make it a title case. Just use what's called the lowercase for it. Get. Then to is also a preposition. Remove it and make it lowercase. Get. So in this stuff now, we are seeing only H, B, L, M as the words that are capitalized. This is how to do what's called title case. If you capitalize every other thing, let's say the I and the T and the ones in and you've gotten it all wrong. Most writers make this mistake. Get. Now let me see what Nkem did in our work. Nkem made the same mistake. Okay. No, Nkem got it right. Ours is correct. Now do, very important, guys. Let me make this thing very clear. What I said is that you should avoid capitalizing prepositions that are not up to 4 letters. So assuming this one here is through. For instance, if what we have here is through, get, or let's say what we have here is under, for instance. This one is a preposition, but it's up to 4 words and above. So this "you" should be capitalized. Get. The same applies to words like with. Although being a preposition, as long as it has up to 4 words and above, capitalize the first alphabet. Yes. Now, very importantly, if you're having words like I here, I, whenever you're using I is a word. It's an alphabet, yet it's a word on its own, it's not a long word. Whenever you're using I in a sentence, ensure it is capitalized at all times. It must be capitalized. Now, another word you need to take note of is is. Is 2 letter words, but it's a verb. Do is a verb. Be is a verb. They are not prepositions, guys. Note this. These 3 words I wrote now, is, do, and be. They are verbs, not prepositions. So if they occur in your title, you should capitalize them. Let's see what Nkem has here. Nkem got this right. Nkem got this right. Okay. Then, but here she got it wrong. The what is, the is a verb. Get, it's not a preposition, so it has to be capitalized. Why the T is an article, so it should be in lowercase. Sorry. The do here capitalized, the N capitalized, the V capitalized, and as well as the L. Okay. Um, up is a preposition, a preposition. Crypto is a noun. Wallet is a noun, capitalized. Guys, do not, if you're writing what's it called, let's say if you're using if you're using punctuations in your titles, please, you are only allowed to put question mark in your title. You're not allowed to put question mark in your headings rather, but don't put full stop in your headings. It's not ideal. You can put question mark but not full stop. So this guy is C is a verb, can is a verb rather, G, get is a verb, T is a pronoun, L is a noun. Guys, I'm not going to explain to you guys what noun and verb and prepositions and all this stuff are. Just do research on Google. If you don't know it, Google's going to give you a result on that. Get metaverse M, marketplace M, and this also good. So, like I said to you guys, let's avoid having any punctuation at the end of our headings that is not question mark. So this is off. Okay, yeah, we are doing the same thing here. Wallet. Um, Market. Make. Is anyone here that doesn't understand what I just did here? If you don't understand, please drop a question and answer it straight up. Okay. So, guys, this is for title case. I think I'm done with that. If you have any question on this, please drop it here. I'm going to answer it immediately. Okay. The next thing I said we're going to look into at the moment is what is it? Hyperlink and refreshing. Now we talked about this thing briefly yesterday, and we were not able to actually exhaust it fully. So I'm going to show us how to go about it now. Okay. Using the games work as an example. She said, hasn't it been a hassle wondering what the fuss about the metaverse is about? Man, I don't want to laugh. Okay, please pardon me. Okay. He said, hadn't been a hassle wondering what the fuss about. Now we were even about two times. Okay, guys, this is normal because this is normal because most times if you write a content and you probably wrote it in an hurry or you're trying to beat deadline, you may make this kind of mistake. Get it happens to the best of us, and that's why it's advisable for you to probably make out time to edit your work. And some companies also try to hire editors differently to ensure that even if the writer made probably some certain things escaped the writer's eyes, the editor, which is obviously another pair of eyes, is gonna pick it up. So how would I write short for this rewrite this stuff? Isn't it a hassle? Um, okay, hasn't been a hassle. I'm saying something a bit passive. Passive. I'm going to explain passive voice to us also, but for now, let's continue this. Wondering what the force about the metaverse is about. Now, what am I explaining now, guys? Hold on, please. What we're looking into now is hyperlink. Okay, perfect. Hyperlink. Sorry, where is the work? Okay. More so when we don't have. Okay. Meta platforms are fast growing, and we are known to be. Now, this is another mistake again. We are known. You want to write and are known, not we are known. Are known to be worth a whooping sum of $108 billion. Now, guys, there are a lot of things to a lot of questions to make in our work, but I want to keep it civil. I want to actually stay on what I want to discuss for now, and probably later I'll come back to edit our work theory. Okay, what I'm looking forward to now is I'm explaining, the entire idea behind hyperlink. So yeah, she told us that the metaverse um, um, okay platform is worth 108 billion. Okay, first of all, there's a mistake here. She said Meta platforms. Meta is a company's name. What we know is metaverse. You can say metaverse platforms, not Meta. Meta is a new name of Facebook. So you can't use that to you can't shorten metaverse to Meta. When you say Meta, you're talking about Facebook. You get. So now let's assume she's talking about metaverse and saying that what a massive sum of 108 billion. What I'm going to ask you is how are we sure that what you say there is correct? Okay, first for the space between 108 and the billion. Now, how are we sure what you say there is correct? Get we the reader the readers or even the client does not trust what you're saying. So the person want to see proof of whatever you're saying is the case. So in this case, what you're going to do is probably to give us a link to where you got the information from. Now let me check what the metaverse is worth. What is the worth of the metaverse industry? Let me try and see where she probably had got that information from. Let me see if it's correct. Okay. Um, I'm seeing different things here. Seeing different things here. Okay. Let me try and search with what she said exactly. 108 billion. Okay. The metaverse is worth 118 billion. Okay, $118 billion. Okay. That's what we've got here. I'm not seeing 1.8 billion. I'm not seeing 1.8. Okay, but give me the meta. Now, this is if this is what you're talking about. They said, but given that Meta generated almost 118 billion in revenue, so are we saying that um, on a normal day, I can't trust you as a client. I can't trust your research. I can't trust the data you're giving to me, statistics you're giving to me, and that's why we have hyperlinking. Hyperlink is a way of giving reference to where you got your information from. Get when it comes to article, hyperlink just essentially means a link. A link someone can click to go to a particular page. You get, but in this context, we're using it as a means of reference. Now you made a mistake here. What you wrote in the document was meta, obviously, but you wrote meta platforms. Now, the person reading this stuff um, would think you're referring to what's it called, the metaverse. Yes, metaverse as are fast growing, blah, 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 blah. And in this case, you are seeing that it's Meta as a company that has grown, that has generated about $116 billion in the previous year, not the metaverse. So there are two different things entirely. You get, so if you put this link there, I would have spent so much time trying to get it online. You get, but that's what the client is looking for to this stuff. So if you come down here, we're still saying the same thing. 1.8 billion, you get, and it's referring to the metaverse, to Meta as a company. You get, so they say Meta platforms. This refers to, okay, Meta platforms. That is if you that platforms could be Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. If you're going to work with Meta platforms here, so it means we're referring to Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and what they call and Messenger. Okay, these are the top four platforms they have. If you're going by Meta as a company, you get. But if you're going to by Metaverse, if you go by Metaverse, this data is not correct. You get. Okay, this is one. Now let's go down to another place where there is a, what's it called, a data again. Okay, this place. Virtual land is an NFT. Virtual land is an NFT, and just like any other, buying it could be no, 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 no. See, um, 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 when you say virtual land, it means you're referring to one thing, one thing. But then, if you say virtual lands, you're referring to the lands on the metaverse. If you want to say virtual land, you say a virtual land. But then this is where your usage of what's it called, singular and plural come into perspective. You get, I'm going to explain all these things as pertains to what you wrote here. I'm going to explain all these things as pertains to what you wrote here. So, but then let's leave this guide where it is for now. We're going to come back to this. A company sold about 100 virtual lands for about $15,000 in 2020, and now each land is selling for about 300,000. This may not be the best way to put a hyperlink. And like I said, a lot of things you guys may not know now, and as progress, you will learn better. But then let me show us what I want to bring up from this particular article for now, which is hyperlinking. This is the way to go about it. First of all, let's check if this hyperlink is even correct. Let's check if whatever she's saying there is true. Like I said, the client does not trust you, and that's why the client needs you to put the links there. So let's confirm if what she said is true. Okay, she said what's it called, lands 100 virtual lands for about blah blah. Okay, now let me search this document with 100, with the word 100. Okay, the island is developing 100 island. The company is developing 100 islands called Fantasy Islands with their own villas and blah blah blah. 19 of the islands sold on the first day for them, and some of them listed for resale for more than. Okay, now what you wrote there and what we are seeing here are not the same thing. Get, you said a land sold 100 lands sold for what's it called, sold for sold for $50,000. But what they are saying here is an island. You get now a highland, sorry, an island is different from a land. For this project, an island could be a cluster of lands. It could be a cluster of lands. You get so you should have written, and you should have written what's it called you should have written um, an NFT project, not a virtual land. Or a virtual, if you would have said a virtual island, because for them, the word island could be a cluster of lands and not just one land. You get? And even if this was were to be accurate, even if what you said were to be accurate, the way okay, hold on. You said it sold for 300,000. Now, guys, there's no 300,000 here. What you said each land is selling about $300,000, right? Let me check if there's perhaps I'm wrong. Let me check. I've said this document is not like 300,000. What we have here is 100,000. So you see that your research and what you wrote are two different things entirely. If I were the client and I'd taken your word for face value, it means that I would have gotten something very wrong. Yes, and you said a company sold about 100 virtual lands for about okay Margaret, you said something. You said this is not the statement I lifted from. I don't get what you mean, but then I'm looking at the link you gave to me here. This is the link you provided to be the source of information. So everything I'm looking for has to come from this link. Get because you highlighted everything and said that everything you are saying here came from that link. So I've gone through that link and I cannot find the information looking for them. So it means that if the information is from another link, you would have put it there. Get I'm just giving this as a general instruction to everyone of us to understand how this thing works. You know, a wrong hyperlink can give you a problem with your clients. Get so we are also seeing that you said and now each land is selling for about 300,000. Get okay, each land you said and now, but what we are saying is that 19 of the land sold on the first day for this, and some are now listed for resale. Okay. That's not what I'm looking for. But then the point is that you wrote 100,000, you wrote 300,000. The client is saying the link is saying it's 100,000. That's wrong intel. That's wrong information. You may have to fix that. Don't do that now. Don't do that. I'm gonna do it later. So I'm gonna show you how best to do this. First of all, this link you put here is not meant to cover the entire text. No, it's not meant to cover the entire text. So I'm gonna remove this link here. It's off. You're meant to cover only, you're meant to put the link in probably a few words. A few words. Let's say something like about this hyperlink, Control V. Now, this is how your hyperlink is meant to be. It's not meant to be the full text, it's not meant to be everything, just a small portion of it, and that will be it. Yeah. And something else you need to understand is that when putting links, you also should be careful about the keywords involved. We've not talked about keywords, so when we get to keywords, I'm going to show us how that plays out. Okay, this is the only hyperlink she has in her work. Now let me go back to this other work. Let me go back to UK's work. So UK made the same mistake also when it comes to hyperlink. Now I'm gonna copy this stuff. She said the metaverse is typically a virtual reality space in which users interact with a computer-generated environment and other users. Now, UK, this sounds very sweet, but then let me check and be sure you did not plagiarize anything whatsoever. I have the grammar.com. Um, I want us to have the best writing ethics. Because plagiarism is a crime, like it's a serious crime. So I want to be sure that whenever I'm going to anybody's work, I would be careful to note if they plagiarize or not. Okay, this can you check came some first. Please, as I'm discussing, any question you have, just be dropping it down, and let me see if I can be attending to them as fast as I can. Okay, this is coming up. I don't know why it's taking forever to open. We're probably going to leave this stuff for now until maybe when network gets better. I'll go back to it. So please, if I forget, remind me to check in Kim's work and UK's work to be sure that there's no plagiarism whatsoever. Okay. Let me check the link she used here. Let me close my this inside of a space. Okay. Grammarly it has a free service. I'm going to see teachers Grammarly. You guys have to get Grammarly accounts, but the one I'm using is the premium version. That's one that allows you to check plagiarism. Okay, UK. You said something here. The metaverse is typically a virtual reality space in which users can interact with a computer-generated environment. Now, first rule of thumb, um, it doesn't make you sound like a professional when you define a term and you try to put an hyperlink for it. Avoid. There's nothing here that I think that I believe should be hyperlinked. You get. Probably got the definition from here, but then it shouldn't be. There's no need for that. No need for that. There's only one hyperlink in this case. Okay, so I'm going to remove hyperlink. Hyperlink should go, because your reader need to see as an authority. So if you're defining something, let them feel this is your definition because you coined it in your own words. Probably you read it from somewhere and you coined it in your own words. So let it be there without any hyperlink. Because I'm going to remove it from this. Um, okay, this is only hyperlink in your article. Oh wow, wow. Okay. Um, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. So let me check. Okay, it has opened. Okay, it is open. I'm trying to get a new page, so that I'll check it out. Network is messing me up. Every one of us, we have to get Grammarly. It's part of the things I want to show us today, Sha. Because if you talk punctuations, there's no way you will do so without mentioning Grammarly. Okay, I'm trying to create a new document for that. Okay, good. So I'm going to copy um, um, Game's work. I'm going to paste it here. Network is pretty messed up, man. Okay, then plagiarism. Click on it. It's coming up. It's coming up. Okay. Okay. Now, Grammarly is showing us that Kem's work is has a plagiarism. About 6% of our work is plagiarized. Got it at the top. Yes, 6% of our work plagiarized. Now let's check the part that's plagiarized. Um, what is the metaverse? You get. Now look at this point. What is the metaverse is not plagiarized. What is plagiarized is the fact that the place is okay copied. Okay, now let me show you. So it won't be as I'm trying to make hypothetical um, deductions. Now Grammarly shows us the source of whatever that is plagiarized in quotes. So in this case, this section that's plagiarized came from MSN. I've just clicked on the link and it's opening up. There's a time I think I give a writer a work to do for me some time ago. And the person probably just, I don't know what the person did online. The person came back and the work was like about 70% plagiarism. I was like, man, if I was looking for what's it called, if I was looking for for copy and paste, I would have done it myself. Okay, it's coming up. Man, the network is just so terrible tonight. But while it's come up, while it comes up, um, this other part is saying that this other part is showing us another seemingly plagiarized group of text. Okay, now this one has opened. So guys, can you see what's happening here? Let me make it a bit bold so you understand why Grammarly highlighted our work. She asked a question, what is the metaverse? And the next thing that follows is, simply put, the metaverse is a virtual reality. Kiniko, Kiniko. Now let's go back to our work. What is the metaverse? Simply put, the metaverse is a virtual reality stuff. Oh god, network is messing me up. But if you look clearly, you see that what is the metaverse is not plagiarized. The problem is that the next text that came with it came the same order as it is from these guys from MSN. It's against the rule. So we are saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11, 12 words coming together in the same order. That's plagiarism. Get, guys, you have to avoid things of that nature. You should have not used this. You should have rewritten the entire intro here in your own words. Get, okay. So please avoid that subsequently. Let's check the other part that was plagiarized. Okay, now this one says the steps you need to take to get yourself. Now, she did not plagiarize here. I will explain why. Let's open this document, this link. The text here, where Grammarly is pointing us to, is something that is not even related to what she's writing about. Now, in most times, there are certain words that people use, certain phrases they use that is common for probably every niche you want to think of. Get, now, if you use those phrases rather in your articles, Grammarly or probably Qtext or Copyscape, these are plagiarism tools. They will pick that stuff as plagiarism, but you know that there's no way you could have gone to okay, in this one is a comic book. There's no way she would have gone to a comic website to copy something from when it has no business with the metaverse she's writing about. So this text is a mark for plagiarism because it appears the same way in another site. However, she wrote this stuff in her own words without plagiarizing. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, talking about. Then the last one is how to what's it called, drag and drop in Selenium. The best part is that you need not to worry about to prove your ownership of the land. Okay, I can't tell about this one because somehow it's the source is quite what I say the source is quite related to what we're writing about. Selenium. Python is web development. Yeah, but then either way, Grammarly highlighted all these things, and you should avoid plagiarism at all costs. So this is what I showed you guys here. It's obvious this thing does not concern whatever she wrote. This is something totally different. So she's not plagiarized. You get in this section. However, that first one is called plagiarism. Okay. Please avoid that subsequently. Let me check UK's work for plagiarism too. I'm gonna highlight everything. Go back to our work. Go back to Grammarly. Let me replace this one. Okay, let's wait and see what the results going to be. Okay, UK is having 5% plagiarism. Cut at the top here, 5% plagiarism. And let's see where it's coming from. The first one is benefits of buying a land in metaverse. Okay, this one is negligible because the title. So anyone could have used the same title. Get, so we can't especially call this a plagiarized work because the title it's in the title. So you definitely can have. Had it been after the title, the next thing that followed is also highlighted for plagiarism as it was in the case of game, they were going to say that she outrightly plagiarized. The network is messed up. I'm trying to access that one. It's taking forever to load. So guys, I'm gonna probably drop this stuff for now and go back to what we're doing until the stuff the network conditions gets better. Okay. So back to other stuff. Now, before we got where was I? Where was I? I was talking about hyperlinks, and none of them could give us good usage of hyperlinks. Now, let me look for someone else's work. I can okay. Let me use enough of my old works. For example, um, let me check. From my using an example. Okay, guys, just hold on. Let me just check any work out there online. Investopedia, Investopedia, Metaverse. Okay. Now this is trying to open an article from Investopedia Metaverse. Now, okay, okay. Those guys are not the perfect fit. This one is a perfect fit. Just hold on, guys. I'm trying to get something that will be the best example for what I want to show us. Okay, let me go to 3.io. Let me close out this stuff so I would have enough space to show us what I want to show us. Just a moment, guys. I guess I would walk. Why is it taking forever? The network is pretty bad. But I hope everyone can hear me. Let me be sure that it's not affecting the live stream also. If you can hear me, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You guys can hear me. That's awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna use two um examples to show us how hyperlink work indeed. Now, first of all, let me take this one back to its place here. Okay. First of all, when it comes to when it comes to using links, there are two types of links. Links can be classified as you can classify links under follow and not follow, and then we're going to classify links under internal and external. Um, backlink. No, this doesn't do justice. Okay, these are two major classifications of links of hyperlink. Two major classifications of hyperlinks. The other ones actually, the other ways to classify links. Yeah, but then let's stick for what I'm showing you guys is what you need for the class. I'm not trying to show you guys things that bamboozle you and then it's of no relevance to you. Yeah, so please don't go and quote me and say that these are the only classifications. These are the ones that I know be that is necessary for whatever I'm teaching you guys now to be an excellent writer. Yeah. So for I'm not going to talk about this one. I'm going to leave follow and not follow. It's not. It's going to be something else. Probably later we'll discuss it. But let's focus on internal and external links. Now, internal link is a link that links back to the blog or the art or the site where it's been published. Because any link you put in an article you write or a page you're developing, and that link links back to the website where it's been published is an internal link. For instance, let's say we come to this okay, let's come to this my website as an example. Now this is a page, this is an home page. This is the home page of the article or the site. If you click on this stuff, if you click on this stuff, it leads you to, okay, let me click so you see it. It leads you to the contact page on the site. Now this contact page is on the site. So as such, you can call it an internal link. Get, it's still coming up. So since it's redirecting the users back to the same site, you call it an internal link. Let's go down. If you see this other one here, this one here, this 396 billion, it is not going to the site, it's going outside. You get, if you look at the page here, when I bring my cursor at the bottom left, you will see where the link is going to. This one is going to the dailybiz.com. Okay, it's not coming up. I don't know for network reasons. It's coming up, sure. This one is an external link. This one here still links back to a page on the website. It's an internal link. This one here is an internal link. If you go yonder, let's come here. Let's come yonder. This one is an internal link. Now, if you notice, I put the link on only the most relevant words. Yeah, I said a study showed that the wasted time and resources in contracting such writers, exchanging feedback, and trying to comprehend poorly written content cost over 396 billion in the US alone. I did not have to put the link in this entire text. No, I put it only in the figure. You could also put it in what's it called from year, from the cost from year to year. It's correct. You can put it from year to year. It's still correct. But it doesn't make sense for you to put it in the entire text. In this one, I did why go through such pain when you can hire a professional production content writer. I put this link on only this word here for SEO sake. So that if someone is searching for blockchain content writer, Google will feel that any link that is getting this any page that has this link attached to this keyword is probably the best resource for whatever the client is looking for. Whatever be the case, you notice I did not put the link in everything we are seeing here. Yet it's only in the most relevant text. Now let's go back to Investopedia. Investopedia did something here. They said the metaverse is a digital reality that combines aspects of social media, online gaming, augmented reality. Now, what they did is that this link you are seeing here, it takes you to a page on their site. It takes you to a page on the site. This is an internal link. In SEO, the goal is for you to provide what's it called reference to whatever information you got, but at the same time trying to keep your users glued back on the website. So if a client gives you an article to write, and the client gave you, let's say the client gave you an article to write about, in this case, how to raise a dog, and the client gave you the website of their brand. You're meant to look for, you're meant to go through that website where it's meant to publish and look for relevant pages, relevant articles on the blog section on the website that you can actually put links back to. Sorry. You are helping the clients. A good article is meant to have both an internal link and external link. The external link is meant to be there only if you are providing source of information. It's only meant to be there when relevant. An internal link helps SEO. It helps to keep the user inbound. So suppose the user is want to learn about augmented reality. Instead of the user trying to learn it from an external source, the user can simply check out the resource within the same domain name. Yes. Now, when I say domain name, um, I mean the same website. Probably that's easiest way I could explain for you to understand. So domain name means the same website. Get so back to where we were. Investopedia ensured that they have an internal link here. We come down here. This one is also an internal link. This one internal link everywhere. But if the client did not give you the page where it's meant to be published, you will not be able to do internal linking. Get now, let me check this one. Okay, this one here, this link you are seeing here, this first link, the most slide blah 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 is an internal link. No, it's an external link. It goes outside. This one, 3A, is an internal link. It goes back to the website. This one, Cardano, goes outside. This one goes outside. I think we did another that goes inside there. Okay, this one goes to their technology page. So it goes inside. So this article probably has about 3 internal links and 4 external links or many external links. But then, like I said, you can only put internal links when if you know the site the client wants to publish the work, or if you know the client's brand client's website or stuff like that. Beyond that, you can just use the external links where necessary. So back to a whiteboard. I think that's pretty much the relevant things I'm going to say about hyperlinks. Now, but one more thing, the mistake people make when using hyperlinks is this: they may say, let's say they write about the metaverse. Yeah, just watch keenly. If you right click on this stuff now, on this person you're seeing here, just note, pay attention to the address bar. This is called address bar. Pay attention to this section. Okay, when I open the next page, pay attention to it. If I click on this stuff, if I click on open this and open it here, oh, okay, this it didn't work here. It didn't work here. For those work using mobile phone, for those using mobile phone, if you click on, let's say, let me try it for this one. Okay, it didn't work here. If you click on this now, it's coming up. Let me see. Most times the website does not, in this case is working, probably I'm using a PC, but if you're using mobile phone, be careful that before you copy the link, it has loaded completely and it's showing you the domain name. This is the domain name. The domain name is thiscnet.com. That's domain name. Be sure that the information is showing domain name and not google.com slash whatever, because I've seen cases in which writers, they copied link and the link they copied is showing Google as the source and not the actual source indeed. So allow for a few probably seconds for the site to load properly to the point in which what you are seeing at the top is a domain name and not Google. Copy it and then put. So guys, I think that will be all for what's it called hyperlink and reference for now. Then let's go to punctuations. Okay, punctuations. There are several punctuations you need to take note of. We have the comma, we have the period or full stop. Let me just call it full stop. We have what's it called? Exclamation, colon, and then we got semicolon, which that one again is relevant. Apostrophe, apostrophe. We also got we also have dash and dash. I think they have long dash and short dash. We put that way for easy explanation. And then we have quotation mark, quotation mark. I think this is probably the most relevant ones we're not looking into. Get now. Several of us make some mistakes when it comes to the usage of punctuations, and I want to address those mistakes. Guys, first of all, um, a sentence is not complete until you have, okay, I think I've gotten one more question mark. A sentence is not complete until it ends with either a period, um, quotation mark, or um, sorry, question mark rather, question mark, or exclamation mark. So a sentence that doesn't have any of this stuff is not a sentence indeed. You get? Someone said my voice is very low. Please, can everyone hear me clearly? Is my voice really that low? Can you hear me clearly? Let me wait for a response. Man, speaking is not easy. I'm very hungry. Just wish I can take a drink. Um, I'm trying to see your comments. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Okay, everyone says it's quite okay from the end. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So let me continue. Now, a sentence is not complete without any of these. A complete sentence must start with a sentence start with a capital letter. Um, a sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with any of the three. I know three, I know the three above there. Get, but then very important as rule of thumb, you need to understand that when you're writing, your article must have short sentences. Now, um, short sentences of let's say about of not more than 25 words. Ideally, guys. Now you need to understand that there are no hard and fast rule to this. Sorry, hold on. Okay, this is the ideal. Your sentence should ideally have 20 to 25 words. Sorry, a maximum of 20 to 25 words. Get per sentence. That's where it's meant to be. However, there are instances where you just have to go more to go beyond that. Yes. If you we have what we'll call Flecsh Kincaid. Flecsh Kincaid um, grade levels. Now, Flecsh Kincaid grade level is it exists to help us write sentences that are simple and easy to comprehend. That's instead of Flecsh Kincaid grade systems. Now, based on Flecsh Kincaid, your sentences need to be short, probably having about a maximum of 20 words per sentences. It makes sense. However, when you write further, you will see that there are times you have to probably um, prioritize flow over what's it called? Simplicity. Yeah, let me keep it that way. Now, let me give you an example. Look at this article. Look at this stuff. Through its commercial arm, Emogo, Kaduna is investing $100 million in the African tech startups to build blockchain-based digital infrastructure in Africa to the end that new industries will bring forth and African economies will blossom. Now, let me copy this stuff and show you something. Let's go back to Google Doc and let me show you something about the stuff I did here. Remember, we're talking about punctuations now. Now, look at this stuff, okay? If I check this stuff, it's already having about 35 words. 35 words. Now, let's go to a tool called Hemingway App. I'm going to use a tool called Hemingway App to check something. Don't be confused. Don't be confused. I'm not gallivanting. Just stay with me. Okay, it's coming up. I'm showing this. I'm showing you guys this thing because of because I told you guys that a sentence is meant to start with a capital letter and end with a full stop, question mark, or what's it called, or what's it called, or sorry, a full stop, question mark, or exclamation mark. And then if you're talking about this stuff, it means we are indirectly talking about the structure of a sentence. Get? And when you talk about the structure of a sentence, you have to talk about what makes a sentence befitting for an article. Get? Now, number one is this, that your article is meant to have simple sentences. You get? You have to boost or call readability. And the Hemingway app I just opened there is a tool that helps you assess how readable your article is. But it's based on what we call the Flecsh Kincaid grade level. Now, you're seeing on the right hand side there a readability score of grade 6. Now, this readability score you're seeing your grade 6 is based on what we call the it's based on what we call the Flecsh Kincaid grade levels. Yes, that grade level shows you how easy how easy your article is, how the ease of understanding your article by the average reader. Yes, this one has grade 6, which is good. Now let's copy that text we have here. Let's copy that text. You will see that it will not have a high grade level, a good grade level. Hold on, guys. Let me go and let me get the text again. To have the best grade level here. Now see it. Anyway, it's showing us that it's this stuff is highlighted purple. Now, when you see this color, it means that the stuff is difficult to read. Get? Now, he's saying this stuff because of two reasons. Number one is that I use big words here, complex words here. We are seeing commercial here. We are seeing blockchain based here. We are seeing infrastructure here. Not just infrastructure, we're seeing digital infrastructure here. We're seeing industry here. And now these are complex words for the average user. They may not be able to comprehend these things. Okay, and then that's one. Number two is that this same thing you are seeing here is having up to about 35 words in one sentence. 35 words in one sentence. That's actually too much. You want to go by readability. Now, what the average writer that want to aim for a good readability score would do. Mind you, I wrote this content. Okay, so this is my work, and I'm going to explain why it's so. Um, what the average writer will do is this: through its commercial arm, Emugo, Kaduna, commercial arm Emugo, Kaduna is investing $100 million in African startups. Now, someone can come here and put full stop and say, um, full stop here. I say the aim. Now, guys, know something. On the right hand side, say the disability is for postgraduates. You get what they're saying, that this stuff I wrote here, the only person that could understand it are postgraduate level students, blah blah blah. That is too complex for the average person. That this is what they use for postgraduate document like thesis work and everything. So what someone can do to make it easy for the average person to understand is number one, put full stop. If I put this, pay attention to this point. This is what will happen here. They're saying that the ability is 4 and aim for 14. Now, when I put full stop here, guys, see that the stop has changed from postgraduate to grade 14. Okay, now keep watching. I will change this stuff to the aim is to build blockchain based transaction in Africa. Get now you can also come again and put full stop. I say um, um, okay, the aim is to build blockchain based digital infrastructure in Africa. Um, I'm looking for how to break it further, to make it more simpler. To make it simpler, rather. Hold on, guys. Okay, when when accomplished, when accomplished, new industries will spring forth, and Africa economies will blossom. Now, guys, through see, this one has dropped to grade 12 from 14 to 12, so there's improvement. Now, we're having three sentences here as opposed to four earlier. Okay, let's compare this with this one. The first one says, through its Emugo, commercial arm Emugo, Kaduna is investing $100 million in African startups. The aim is to build blockchain-based digital infrastructure in Africa. When accomplished, new industries will spring forth and African economies will blossom. Okay, guys, tell me which of these two sentences you prefer. The two texts you prefer. The first one is one, and tell me why. Wait for your comments. Okay, wait for your comments. Let's see which you prefer and why. Okay. Okay. When someone says the first is simpler. Okay, that's correct. Preacher said the first is also simpler. Perfect. And who again? Okay. Margaret says the first one, the position allows us to understand it piece by piece before getting the big picture. Perfect. Now, generally, guys, anyone that is sane will understand that the first is simpler. The first is easy to understand. Through its commercial arm, Emugo, Kaduna is what's it called, investing $100 million in African tech startups. Okay, let me go back to my screen. Sorry, I didn't know I'm not sharing my screen. Okay. The aim is to build blockchain-based digital infrastructure in Africa. Um, when accomplished, new industry will spring forth and African economies will blossom. Now, many persons do not know how to transition between sentences. Get this particular one, there is a flow. Get, and if you notice, when I was breaking it down, I had to look for choice words that will not make it obvious that these are two different contexts, or that will not make it obvious I'm trying to simplify something that was there before. Now, if you're going to write and use short sentences, ensure it is this clear. Now, the reason I used something this complex is because the client requested so. The client requested so. The client does not want it to be this simple, to be that simple. The client wants something that the client wants the ideas to be immersed in one sentence. He wants it to just have a straight read. You get? And if you come back to other sentences here, you see similar things. You get? Um, in furtherance of his vision, Kaduna has launched several smart contracts in Africa, one of which is in partnership with the Ethiopian government to monitor academic progress of 5 million students in the country. Okay, this one is even simple. Let me look for something that is more complex now. Okay, can't get anything more complex than that. Yeah. Now, the goal, forget that this client wanted something very complex. Get okay, let's see this one. This one is a few words. Forget that the client wants something that is pretty complex. When you're writing your own, please strive to go for something simple. Get ensure your sentences don't get very long, don't get extremely long. They're not more than 20 to 25 words. However, if need be, if you feel that this sentence will not make perfect sense until it has what's it called about 5 words or whatever, go for it. Go for it. You get so like I said, like I told us, I made this one this complex because the client requested it so. However, when writing yours, go for short sentences. If you're writing short sentences, ensure that there's a flow between from one of them to the other. Don't write two different disjointed stuff that that doesn't really make much complete sense. Let me check what the game did there. Decentraland and Sandbox are two well-known platforms where people can purchase assets in metaverse. Such assets can be exchanged for Ethereum. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think there's a flow here. There's a flow here. Let me see what UK has in our work. Prior to when Facebook's CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced Facebook rebranding as Meta, most people saw the metaverse from the video game perspective point of view only. The metaverse is evolving toward promises to be a futuristic great experience for its users. With such, oh wow, I'm impressed. Okay, there's a flow. There's a flow. So we are seeing short sentences here that have flow. Now let me copy this work. Let me copy this entire work and go to Hemingway to see the rating. Now, so this stuff is showing us sections that are complex, guys. Get this section, this introduction, this what's it called? The first sentence here. This is let me say many words here. There's a tool I was meant to have here that I don't have. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. Now this is just 25 words. This is just in 5 words. And if you come to Hemingway, Hemingway is telling us that although it's in 5 words, is although it's in 5 words, Hemingway is saying that it's so complex, it's hard to understand. So you see that at times Hemingway cannot be totally right. This stuff makes sense. Prior to when Facebook's this okay, there's a lot of errors. Facebook's CEO, comma, Mark Zuckerberg announced Facebook's Facebook's rebranding as Meta. Most people saw the metaverse from the video game point of view only. This is standard. It's 25 words, yet it makes complete sense. You don't have to take it or break it down to any simpler something. Because the mistake people make is that most times in a bid to ensure you have what's it called the best Flecsh Kincaid score, you make the mistake of oversimplifying your work, and when you do so, it loses meaning. When you do so, it loses its flow. Now, this part says, with great tech bodies like such as Apple, Google, Facebook, and Microsoft investing heavily in its control. Okay, what are you saying here? Okay, in it. Okay, in it. Let me just take this one off. Okay, one can imagine the wonder that there is to come. Okay, that there is to come. Okay, I think what's it called? This one. Okay, let me just write this stuff. One can only imagine the wonder it holds in the next punctuations. Okay, this is another example. This stuff here for me makes complete sense. And let me see how many words it is. Okay, sorry guys. Let me see how many. Let me copy it and see how many words. There's an extension I'm meant to have here. I'm going to install it later, probably after this class. It will help me know what counts from any platform, not just Google Doc. Let me put it and see. This is just okay, 29 words. Now it's 29 words, but it still makes sense to me, guys. Get it has a flow. However, if you have ways of breaking this thing down into simpler sentence without losing the flow here is a transition from one sentence to another. Sentences should not be disjointed. It should not be what's it called? Something like how would I put it? I'm gonna look for some articles you guys wrote and get examples of such disjointed sentences that doesn't have flow. So in your bid to get simple sentences, get one that has good flow. Now back to where we were. Um, Full stop, question mark, and exclamation mark. These guys help us to know that a sentence has come to an end or has begun. Anyone is beginning. Now, then we have the comma. Do not use comma when you are meant to use full stop. For instance, let me open this UK's work. See this stuff here? Okay. You know there's a full stop here, guys. Now, suppose I come here and put comma. This thing becomes terrible. Get just read from here. Let's just see only from here to here. You see, prior to when Facebook's because this is a noun. Facebook is a noun, so you're gonna put apostrophe X, CEO, comma, Mark Zuckerberg, comma. I'm going to explain why I did this stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but then this is how it's meant to be. Okay, I'm explaining commas now, right? I'm going to explain this. But let's read on. Announce Facebook's rebranding as Meta. Most people saw the metaverse from the video game point of view only. The metaverse is evolving into what promises to be futuristic stuff. It's obvious that this idea is meant to end here. So if it's ending here, your full stop will be here, and a new sentence begins automatically. If you don't know when to use comma, you make big mistakes. Now, commas can be used in several places. Number one, number one, um, where to use comma. Where to use comma. Um, to separate two phrases. Oh God, thank you. To separate two phrases. To separate um, separate list of items, a list of items. What again? What again? Um, when um, when writing the name, when writing, all right, this stuff now. When writing names of people and their position, okay? Names of people, yeah, basic names of people and their official designations, okay? What again? No ideas in a sentence. Okay, guys, our time is almost fast spent, and we've not done much. I'm really very sorry that this class they run very fast. Okay, let's just explain this before we push further. Okay, now when you are writing two different ideas, for instance, you say, um, next week, I will, I went to see um, Emma for went to see Emma for the first time, but she wasn't at home. Now, guys, this is an example of what's called a sentence that have two ideas, phrases and stuff, whatever you call it. That, and if you say, I went to see Emma for the first time and I moved, but she wasn't at home. That you see, it doesn't make complete sense because these are two different ideas, and one, if you read it straight up like this, you won't really take a break. Commas help us to take breaks when making a sentence. Get now, so just imagine something like this. I saw a tweet some time ago. If I can remember it clearly, okay, I think okay, what was that tweet again? Okay, I think my my three favorite things, my three favorite right things in the world are eating my dad and comma. Mm, okay, guys, perfect. If you check, if you check this stuff here, my three favorite things in the world are eating my dad and comma. This stuff looks like this. Now let's read it again from that perspective. This was a tweet. My three favorite things in the world are, okay. Let's just look this way. My favorite things in the world are eating my dad and eating my dad and comma. Then let's see this other one and this. So we're having different sentences, four different sentences, and four different ways of presenting them. The first one is my three. Okay, let me number it so it becomes easy for us to identify. My three favorite things in the world are eating my dad and comma. What shows you there? What you see there is that this guy's favorite things are number one, eating his dad. He wants to eat his dad and comma. Get. But then it gets confusing because he said three things and you're only seeing two things here. This is the first one and this is the second one. So you ask yourself, okay, where is it? Where is the third stuff he's talking about? Then look at this second sentence. It says, my favorite things in the world are eating my dad and comma. In this case, you won't be bothered at all. He didn't say three, yeah. So you just know that the favorite things he's talking about here, the one is eating his dad. Get so this guy loves hitting his dad. Sorry, not hitting, rather eating his dad. And the last one is comma. Then you would not even think there was an error. The only thing you could actually get bothered about is the fact that it doesn't make sense that he wants to eat his dad. Is he a vampire? Is he a carnivorous animal or whatever? But if you come to this other one, the third one, my three favorite things in the world are eating, comma, my dad, comma, and comma. Does that make sense now? So he has three things. One is eating, second one is dad, and the last one is comma. Get. But you cannot have gotten this meaning if you were not actually if there was no comma in the sentence at all. And the last one says, my favorite things in the world are eating, my dad, and comma. Yes. So you see, number two and number three makes perfect sense. However, with the introduction of comma, we are seeing that these two are completely different ideas altogether. Yes. So I want you to have this at the back of your mind when that without commas, most sentences will not make sense. So we use comma to separate different ideas in a sentence, as we see in this case, as we see in this case, where I say I went to see Emma for the first time, but she wasn't at home. There's a comma here. Take a break. I want to see Emma for the first time, but she wasn't at home. No, I want to see Emma for the first time, but she wasn't at home. No, no, it doesn't make sense. You get. So this is one use of comma. You could actually apply it in many instances, but we don't have time. So the second one, to make a list of items. Now, if you're going to make a list of items, let's say you want to write um, the three major coins or cryptos in the world are Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin, Ether, and USDT or Tether. Let me call it Tether. Now, guys, pay attention carefully. What most of you would do on a normal day is this. Meanwhile, before I forget, if you want to know, have a list of all the top projects in the world, come to this place. Coinmarket Cap. Coinmarket Cap. It's coming up. This is a place where you can get the list of all the top projects, all the top crypto projects in the world. Good. Number one is Bitcoin, number two is Ethereum, number three is Tether. Good. So these are the top projects. This site is called coinmarketcap.com. If you want to learn about crypto price, the one that is rising and falling, anything you're looking for, this is where you're gonna get it from. This I'm just feel like a DJ, zoom in and out. The way they do that stuff. Crazy man. Okay, so back to where I was. Now most of you, this is what we're gonna do. Bitcoin, Ether, and Tether. Now, there's only one comma here, right? Only at Bitcoin. But then, the rule is that when using comma to separate a list of items, and the items are three or more, you must put a comma before the and. Guys, I'll repeat it again. When using commas to separate um, oh god, a list of items, a list of three or more items, ensure you put a comma before the conjunction um before and before the conjunction. Wait, I just remember something I omitted, guys. Oh my god, something I omitted. I just remembered it now. I'm gonna go back to it. Before and or. Guys, now this thing I'm saying is very important. Let's say you have up to three items here. Let's assume the items are apple, cat, and apple, cat, dog. If you want to write these things in a sentence, once they're up to three, this is and obviously, you have to put a comma here. This cat must have a comma before the and. Whether it's or, the same thing also. Get. If it's up to four items, continue. And goats. In secondary school, we're not taught this. What we are taught in secondary school was that the comma is meant to come here, here, and not here. but that was wrong. Get so in this case here, this eta must have a comma here. Very important, guys. Very important. This is how to use commas. Now, before I go to this last point, there's something I forgot earlier when we are talking about title case. Please, I said that you don't capitalize the first alphabet of articles, prepositions, and then one more thing, conjunctions. Conjunctions. You get cut it here. Conjunctions are and, or, um, but, um, yet, get because. Because no, because in a conjunction. It's because a conjunction, guys. Man, I don't know again, so let me check. It's because a conjunction. No, I don't know everything, no. Is it provisional conjunction? Let me be very sure. Okay, it's a conjunction, correct. I got it right. Thank God my school fees was not in vain. Okay, so because. However, like I said earlier, if the conjunction or preposition is three letters or below, it will be lowercase. But if it is four or more, like because or through, it is uppercase. I believe that's clear. So if you have this, any of this in your title, and make it the lowercase, or make it lowercase, but make it lowercase, and every other conjunction, except when it is up to five, up to four or more words. Okay, that's it. Now back to where I was before. Man, a lot of things to say, a lot of things to say, a lot of things to say. These 2 weeks is not really enough to learn writing, man. It is Jesus Christ. Where was I, man? Okay. Now, when writing the names of people and of official designations, this example, let me give an example for this one. If you're writing, let's say something like um, the C, the president of the United States of America, okay, Donald, not Donald Trump, oh my God, Joe Biden, okay, thank you, Godwin, I see your comments. Joe Biden visited Nigeria in the wake of the successful 2023 elections. Now, this is good. This is good. The President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, visited Nigeria in the wake of 2023 elections. The rule for this, guys, pay attention carefully. The rules for this is number one, you must use commas to separate the office from the name. You must use office to separate the office from the name, or to separate both of them. Now, I'm going to give two examples. The first one is the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden. The second one is Joe Biden, the President of the United States of America. Now, it doesn't matter whether you mention the name first or whether you mention the office first. The main thing is that when you are talking about something, you mention the name and the office, you must separate both of them. So in this case, the President of the United States of America, they will use P, capital P for president here. The comma, there must be a comma here. And another comma here. So this is meant after comma. The first comma is after the title, and the second comma after the name. This plays the same thing too. The first comma after the title, the second comma after the name. The other way for you to not use comma in this place is to use what we call a long dash. If you don't use comma in this case, you have to use what we call a long dash. So if you want to bring a long dash here, this is what you do. Using double comma is same thing as using a long dash. You can come to insert, special characters, then come and type dash. It's coming up. Okay, if you look carefully, you'll be seeing on the left hand side, you're seeing dashes, different type of dash. Okay. Now this one, you plus 20, but it's a long dash. Select this dash. Yes. Click OK and then close. What did this copy to? Okay, this dash here. Now let me copy this and paste it so you see the different ways to go about it. Okay. I want this to be on the same page. I want it to be on the same page. Let me take this down. Take it down. Okay. On the same page. Oh, so this dash here now. The first one, this first examples, we are using commas for both of them to separate the title from the name. This second example, we're going to put the dash here and the dash here. Yeah, dash here and the dash here. Yes. So if you bring your long dash into this perspective, it's fitting. I'm going to see explain much later what long dash does beside this. But then the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're mentioning a title and name, your comma can do the job, separating both of them, or you could bring a long dash to do the job. You cannot write it without any of these. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I think these things I'm saying here. I need everybody to use these things I said to review the articles they wrote. Get so go back to the articles you wrote. Everybody, see, I see something earlier. I told us that I want the groups to be quite interactive. I want the groups to be such that members of the group can they can review each other's work. Get and that's why I asked to make your works editable. So guys, what you're gonna do for me is this that these things I've explained thus far. Go to everyone's work and see if your colleagues or your group members if they got it right. You can leave comments. Let me show you how to leave comments in your work. If you're using a PC, on the right hand side is a comment. The comment here. Click on comments. If you want to comment on this stuff, let's say this part here, you can click on comments, and then you write what you want to write. It could be um, are you sure, for instance, or just something like that. Click on comments, and the person sees it automatically. The person will get a notification that you made a comment on his or her work. This is how a comment looks like. You get. So you can also leave all suggestions. If you come to this place, top right corner, we are seeing editing mode. Click on it, select suggestion. I don't know how it is on mobile phone. You can use Google to YouTube to find out how to go about it. Click on suggestion. Click on suggestion. Anything you are making will not be automatically added to the document. The user will come online, will see it. The person that wants it will see it and choose to accept it or not. Let's say this is an example of a suggestion. Yes. Now, I just added something. So, if on the right hand side you see that they said, I'm suggesting that this person adds this particular stuff to the document. This is what suggestion does rather. I can also come here and delete. I'm suggestion mode now. So if I delete this stuff, it doesn't go automatically. It comes like a suggestion to the owner of the document. Delete this thing as a suggestion. The person will then come and probably if the person click on this assistant suggestion, that's when the stuff affects. Okay, you see it has disappeared. Control Z. If I click on it, it disappears. Control Z. So that one, if I click on it, this green stuff disappears and it stays. Get why this other one for comments? Comments like a chat medium. If you drop a comment, the person can come there and reply it. Let's say if you ask the person, okay, let me edit my comments and say, um, um, check if check if this is true. This is what this is why I dropped as a comment. Because and the person comes, the document comes here and probably check and so it's true. The person can reply you, yeah, it's true. Probably after the person have checked it. If it has to do with anything that the person has to edit, the person can edit it. Yeah. And then when you are done, you accept correct this stuff. Now, let me advise. If a client gives you a suggestion on your document, do not accept it yourself. Fix it, tell the person that it's done, probably done or accepted, or whatever it is. The person will come back, check it, and the person find out that you've done it indeed, the person will accept it. This is how it's meant to be. Get? But in this case, obviously, these guys are not clients, these are your colleagues. So when you feel you've done whatever it has to do, you can accept it yourself. So I want everybody to go through your group members' work, review it in line with what we've done thus far. The entire articles you are seeing there are work in progress. Get? They are not probably the best, they are not this, they're not that, but then everybody's getting to get better. So by the time we're done with this class, you will see that indeed there's improvement somewhere. Get? So for now, go through your group members' work. That's why the work is editable. Use suggestions. If you're using mobile phone to edit, be very careful. Google Doc mobile version has problem. Google Doc mobile version has problem. You'll be writing something here, the cursor would what's it called would dive to some other place. Please note that. So if it ever happens, close the document and start again. So you don't mess up someone's work. Um, 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 what was I saying before I went there? Okay, so use suggestions and comments to review your works, so that your members will know where they're not getting it right and they can get better. So before we meet for our next class, we will be sure that everybody's on the same page. Get? Someone asked a question. He said, "Why don't you underline your heading?" It is wrong, actually. It's very wrong. Don't underline your heading. Once your heading is formatted already, with it's already very visible and clear, you don't need to underline it again. It's not. If you go online and check on what's it called, check on what's it called on other articles and blogs online, you will not see anyone that has underlined headings. It's not ethical. It's not best practice. Yes, it's not best practice. So, guys, I believe that's it. If you have any question, please let me know. And I'm sorry for keeping us this late. I'm really very sorry. I apologize for the time spent. Yeah, so, if you have any question, please let me know. There will be no assignment today. Tomorrow is Sunday. Everybody needs to go to church. Yes, by Sunday. I'm not going to do any assignment until probably we've done our next class on Monday. So try and prepare for service tomorrow. If you're Muslim, congratulations. You can just take the weekend off to rest. If you're a Christian, prepare for Sunday service. Other case, this is weekend and you have to have a nice time for yourself. First, I have two questions. Firstly, how do you ensure that the link you're setting leads to the exact same article and not a different one like what happened in my case? I think need to be careful. I think you probably made a mistake and said wrong one. If you get the right link to lead to the right source, you get the right link to the right source. Then it's generally paid for. And how do we keep our work energized before publishing? How is to ensure that there's nothing that looks like okay. Grammarly has a free version, has a premium version. You can go online and if you're using a PC, you can go online and search for. Let me remove this stuff. Okay, you can go online for PC. Just go to grammarly.com. Yes, for mobile phones, go to your Play Store or App Store and type Grammarly. You see the app there. Yes, for the PC version, there are a lot of you can use it in different ways as a lot of ways. I'm going to explain Grammarly much later, but on your spare time, you can check about them online, and then when it's time for Grammarly, I'm going to explain to us what it's all about. What about bestsiders? I don't know. Okay, bestsiders. Oh, people that don't church. Congratulations, bestsiders ministry. That's for you. So, must every article have links attached? No, no. But most clients will need it to attach links. So let's learn how to go with links. Someone said, I noticed good dogs give me another spell check after I've completed editing with Grammarly. Please, why is it so? It could be probably, what's it called? It could be probably because of the inherent language or writing style that comes from your, let's say, if you're using American English as your default stuff, and your Grammarly is using British English. So when you're done with Grammarly, Google doesn't give you errors and checks from the what's it called from the British American English that it is used to. Yes, I can't really tell, but I think this could be the reason. Okay, another question. Okay, another question. Most every other, I think that's all, guys. Another question, and with this, I'm gonna call it a night. It's been an awesome time spending time with you guys, and I sincerely apologize for what's it called being keeping you guys awake this late. Till we meet again. Have a nice day. Good night.